Good morning, afternoon, or evening, biology. Let's talk about it. So, first big thing, just osmosis foldable. This is what the end result will look like. You'll have three flaps. Under each one, we'll have an image and then a breakdown of just what the prefix means. Let's do it. So, blank sheet of paper, no crying, no dying. Also, let's add this real quick. Oh, yeah, add it in a second. So, blank sheet, no crying, no dying. You're just gonna take it, fold it, hamburger, line up your corners, don't die. You'll be fine. Okay, next big thing. This is probably the hardest part of doing this kind of foldable with thirds. There's not an easy way to fold this and make it into thirds. So I'm gonna bend it, as you can see, like this, along this edge. Now, I'm going to try to actually line it up into three equal-ish sections. It does not need to be perfect. So I'm making like an S shape. Well, kind of an S shape. And then we're trying to line up to where each of these have about the same. And it will not be perfect, and you'll probably want to smooth out this edge a few times to make it actually closer to even. And a little more. A little bit more on this end. Just pull from the side a little bit. And you want to smooth out so that way you can also pull easily from one end, put it into the other. And a little more back, so I went too far. And once you're done, just press that. And that gives you a good notch to follow as far as making your three sections. After that, you may want to reline this up if it's not lined up correctly. So now, flip it around, and you have all the folding done, besides one last thing. We need our little tile area. So we're going to leave one little line up here. Make sure that this is showing as parallel and perpendicular, if I can word today. But make sure it's showing as parallel and perpendicular. And we got it. Cut these right here. Once again, it doesn't have to be perfect. We just need it to exist and be. And so then you have this nice little whoop. And once again, make sure you cut all the way down, that way you don't have that problem. And the more even your cuts, the less you're going to have this attaching and pulling issue. So, what the heck is it? So first of all, this is once again how osmosis affects a cell in different solutions. These prefixes are basically telling you what the solution is, and from there you can figure out what the solution does without actually having to see what the solution is doing. So hypotonic is less. So once again, it's going to, or lower concentration. So it means that you're going to have a lower concentration outside the cell, which means that water is going to flow into the cell. So water is going to move into the cell as a result of its higher solute concentration in the cell. And this is going to lysopop the cell. You're going to end up with the cell breaking apart. We don't like this. If this is your red blood cells don't work anymore. So this is obviously not a good vibe, as you guys might say. Let me scoot this back a little bit. And then once again, hypo means less or lower concentration. And that's once again hypotonic solution. Isotonic solution. This one, it's going to be moving equally in and out, so the cell remains the same. This is where we want it to be. I'll actually add that on there. and then just whoop. So once again, our cell is staying the same, and the actual size of the cell is staying the same because it's moving equally in and out as a result of the equal salt concentrations. So it works. And iso just means same or same concentration. You will see isomers in chemistry probably next year or year after. So iso, you're like, oh yeah, iso just means same, and move on with your life. And in a hypertonic solution, this is the one that you guys say makes it look like a raisin. I'm going to also draw these big arrows real quick. There's a high concentration of salt solution. It means that all the water is leaving our cell, which is a lower concentration than, whoops, it's going to be all right. All the water will be leaving our cell, and it's going to shrivel up like a raisin. And that's pretty much it. And once again, this also is not good because that can stop your cells from working, especially red blood cells. Whoa. So think about it being hyper like you having way too much energy and if you have more energy than you need or a greater amount of energy. It means greater or more concentration. So, or it can even just mean high concentration in a solution of solute. And this is usually salt or sugar in these. And that's pretty much it. Ask questions, don't die, get these down.